to welcome everybody to the session. My name is George. I'm the instructional designer and online educator here at VoiceThread. The plan for today is to go over the VoiceThread basics. So we're going to start with the very basic stuff. What I want to do is just talk for a minute about what VoiceThread is for those of you that have never seen it or maybe heard of it outside of signing up for this workshop. All right, so I'm just going to show you a couple of quick examples and give you a definition. So from a technical standpoint, a VoiceThread is an asynchronous multimedia slideshow. And it allows you to record comments and discuss whatever you like throughout the slideshow. All right, now with that basic idea, you can do a lot of different things with VoiceThread. So conceptually, I always describe VoiceThread as a virtual classroom, meaning that whatever you do in a face-to-face classroom, you can do on VoiceThread. So one of the kind of beginning types of VoiceThreads that people create is a lecture. So you can upload all different sorts of media. For today, we're just going to do something very simple, but you can upload PowerPoint, documents, images, movie files, whatever you like, and you can record a variety of different comment types: microphone, webcam, text, and you can even upload. So I'm just going to play a few seconds of this VoiceThread. This is a lecture from a business law class, just so you can see what this looks like. We are on slide 1 of 16. So there are actually 16 slides. If I go through one by one, you can see there are 16 slides in this VoiceThread. But the instructor starts off on slide 1 with a comment on the left-hand side with his webcam.
Welcome to our VoiceThread on legal opinions. Legal opinions are not written primarily for the purpose of telling a lay audience a story about a case in the way that I typically do in class. The legal opinion itself, the case text, is written to teach a professional audience how the law will apply.
All right, so I'm going to stop there. But you can see on every slide, there are more comments from the instructor. And if the students had a question, they would just click on that plus sign and record their questions. All right, now this VoiceThread is one that we have in the VoiceThread Certified Educator course. So I'm the facilitator of that course, and this is a discussion that we're having. All right, so I'm just going to play a little bit of this.
All right, so I'm going to leave a link to a blog post that we wrote right after this, and it's about shallow student comments that lead to kind of dead-end conversations. So my question is how...
All right, you can see there are a number of people who have commented. There are a few different types of comments. The squares are just normal standard comments. The circles are what we call threaded replies, and we deal with those threaded replies and private replies and comment moderation in other workshops. But you can always find out more about that from your VoiceThread homepage by going to the question mark icon in the upper right. This is where you can find all the help documentation, and you can search for anything that you want to know by keyword, and you can do all of that from your homepage. Right now, you can also do stuff like this. Speaking of private replies and comment moderation, this is like an assessment. So you can see on the left-hand side, these comments have been moderated. They have a closed eye icon, and I replied to the commenters using private replies. So this is a way to use VoiceThread for assessments. I can see all of these comments. I can hear all of these comments, but the commenters cannot see or hear each other's. So you can ask a question on VoiceThread if you have comment moderation turned on. All of the students can comment, and they will not see or hear each other's answers, all right? So there are a number of ways to use VoiceThread for assessments, for discussions, for lectures, student presentations. You have a number of options, all right? So we're just going to work on the basic skills today. So I'm on my homepage right now, and you can see I have a number of VoiceThreads. So if you're brand new to VoiceThread, you won't have anything on the page except for these icons up top. All right, now, as I mentioned earlier, this is where you can get answers to any questions you have, this question mark icon. All right, and we have the Learning Center up here where you can check out our case studies or the research that's been done on VoiceThread. You can visit our blog, and you can watch the basic tutorials. You can sign up for our free workshops. and you can learn more about VoiceThread certification and get your name on the wait list if you want. All right, you have all of those options there, but to create a VoiceThread, what you're going to do is click on the plus sign. Now you have a number of options for how to bring slide content into your VoiceThread. But just remember, creating a VoiceThread is 2 steps. The first step is to add your slides. The next step is to record your comments. So what options do I have when it comes to slides? Well, I could actually record an audio-only slide. I wouldn't worry too much about that. That's really only used by podcasters. I could take a picture, like a selfie from my webcam, another one that's not that used widely. But these other ones you want to investigate. Now, the URL option, if I click on this, I can paste a YouTube link here and click save, and that will import that YouTube video into my VoiceThread as a video slide. All right, so that's the URL option. Then you have external source. So if I click on that, I can bring in images from Flickr's Creative Commons licensed image database. And I can also connect my Google account to my VoiceThread account and import anything that I have in my Google Drive. You can also copy slides from another VoiceThread that you've already created. You can record a webcam video slide, or you can add from your computer. So this is the one that people use most frequently. So this is the one we're going to focus on today. Right now, you can upload just about any file type you want. Any type of document, PDF, Word doc, PowerPoint presentation, video file, audio file, images, anything you like. If you're going to upload a PowerPoint, by the way, I always recommend exporting the PowerPoint, or if you're a Mac user, the Keynote file. Export it as a PDF first and then upload it. If you export as a PDF, what you see in that PDF is exactly what you'll see when it gets uploaded. If you just upload the raw PowerPoint file, you may see a little unusual formatting. All right, some text may shift around depending on the settings that you have. So I always recommend exporting as a PDF. I'm going to go into my computer and I'm going to look through my files and folders, and I see an image that I want to bring in, and that's going to start to upload and process. Right now, while that's processing, it's already done, but I can see I can title this. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to title this. Maybe this is going to be a discussion. So I'll say this is discussion 1. Right? And you can title it whatever you like. And I'm going to click save. All right, so that's the first step. That's all we need to do. Right? Whenever you want to get back to your home page, you can just click on the VT icon in the upper left. But if you get to this spot, you're all set. All right, so now that we have our file, let me go back. Let's go in here. All right, so now if your screen looks similar to mine, where you have your image file and you've given it a title, all right, now you can always go in to add more, right? You can always add more slides to a VoiceThread, and you can always change the playback settings. You can go into these and experiment with the playback settings for what you want to do. But for today, we're just going to focus on commenting. So I'm going to show you the basic way to comment. All right, so the way to open it up, you can either just click on the slide or click open this VoiceThread, and it will open up in the media player. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, and I have 4 ways to comment: text, audio, webcam, or file upload. So the file upload is the way you can upload an audio or video file as a comment. Remember, what you're doing in this comment fan is commenting, right? So some people have said, I want to add more slides, and I click on the plus sign and I try to upload them, but they don't work, because this is how you add comments, right? The first step is to add slides. This is how to add comments. So you can upload a comment if it's an audio or video file, but for today, I want to focus on either the audio or the webcam. So the text is really straightforward. You just click on the T and you can type whatever you want, right? I would save text comments for something just like a 1-word reply, or if you wanted to leave a link to your students. But remember, VoiceThread is designed to be a human tool. It's designed as an antidote to text discussion boards. So using VoiceThread as a text discussion board is kind of defeating the purpose, right? What you really want to do is use your voice, share your face, right? Explain stuff to students in a real human way and have them engage with you and each other in a real human way. So what you can do is click on the microphone. Your browser may give you a pop-up that says like, are you sure you want to allow VoiceThread to access your mic? Just click allow. Otherwise, once you do this, you are recording. You can see the red light is blinking. I have a timer going in the right corner. All right, now I'm recording. Now I also have this squiggle. This is what we call the doodle tool. All right, so I can annotate on the slide just by clicking and dragging my cursor around. So I click on the slide, I can choose different colors, and I can decide if I want my drawings to fade or not. So I'm going to keep this set to fade. I'm going to change to red, but I can annotate however I like, right? So I can explain things to my students. I can go through and annotate however I like here. And when I'm done, I click stop and I can cancel, save, or record more. Boom. Your browser may give you a pop-up. All right, I can see my comment is being saved in the conversation channel. All right, now if I had other slides, I could navigate to those, but that's the basic idea. All right, so I do see a question. All right, so if you only have allowed text commenting in your comment fan, I would definitely reverse that, okay? So the way to do that is to go into your settings. You'll see which comment types are allowed, and you probably have only allowed text. So I would reverse that and maybe only allow the other types. All right, you can check those boxes and click save. All right, but once you're here, remember you click to open it up, click on the plus sign, choose your commenting method. I'm going to go with audio, and I'm recording, right? And try to annotate. Click on the screen, drag your cursor around, you know, give it a try out. And when you're done, you stop and you save. Audio, and I'm the doodle tool shows up whenever you record an audio or webcam comment. All right, so the final element today is just to share. And there are a number of ways to get to the sharing menu, all right, but they're all going to take you to the same place. So I'll show you kind of all the different paths that you can take. The most basic one from within the media player is just to go up in the upper right next to your identity image and click on that little silhouette of somebody with a plus sign. All right, if you click on that, that will open up the sharing menu. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute, but here's a few other ways to get there. If you click on the three-dot menu and then click on the word share, that also brings you to the sharing menu. All right, if you are editing a VoiceThread, all right, if you're in this stage, you can share by clicking share. Once again, brings you to the same place, right? If you are on your home page, you can click on that three-dot menu and look for that arrow. If you hover over any of the icons, it tells you what they do. You can click share, and voila, it takes you to the same place. All right, so those are all different ways to get to the same place, to get to the sharing menu. Whenever you see that right-facing arrow, that is how you share. So from within the media player, the easiest way is to just click on that little silhouette with the plus sign. That's the least amount of clicks. You click on that and you're right there. All right, now there are a number of ways to share VoiceThreads, and we are going to go over those in future workshops. All right, so I can see all these secure sharing options, sharing with contacts, sharing with groups, sharing with courses, but we're just going to go to this top row, which just says copy link. All right, now there is a privacy setting here. Right now, this link is private. So I want my students to be able to see this. So I'm going to click anyone with the link can view, or anyone with the link can comment. So usually you're going to want your students to comment on your VoiceThreads, or at least have the ability to comment if they have questions. So we're going to change this to anyone with the link can comment. And then you just click copy link and you're all set. And then you can paste this wherever you like. Paste it in an email, paste it on your class webpage, paste it on social media, right? Just remember it's a public link. All right, so the way to get there from within the media player, remember, is by clicking on that little silhouette. Make sure you set the privacy how you like. Maybe you're sharing a voice thread publicly, and maybe you don't want comments on it. Maybe you're just sharing it to show people the voice thread you created, but maybe you don't want like spammers and trolls on social media to get on and make comments that maybe you don't want people to hear. If that's the case, then you can just allow people with the link to view, right? And then you copy the link and you can paste this on Facebook or Twitter/X or wherever you want to share it, right? But that option is there for you. All right, now there are a couple of other options here as well on the right side. If you wanted to embed a voice thread on some page, you can click on that, the chevron with the slash through it, and you can copy the embed code. You can change the size of the embed, right? But you can copy the embed code. All right, this one shows you how to post to social media. You can share to Facebook or share to Twitter there, right? And this one shows you how you can save your voice thread as a video file offline if you wanted to save it for like archive purposes. So you have a number of options there, all right? But once again, we're just going to focus on the basic share link. So from within the media player, click on that guy, change this setting to whatever you want. I would recommend, if you're sharing with students, anyone with the link can comment. All right, and now that that has been saved, you're going to want to copy the link, and then you can share that wherever you like. All right, now there are a few other ways to do this. Remember, you can click on share and do it that way, or if I have the edit page open, I can open up share, copy the link that way, or from my home page, I can click on that 3-dot menu, open up the sharing, and change the settings, and then copy the link and paste this wherever I like. All right, folks. So that is everything that I wanted to show you today for the Basics 1. If you successfully uploaded a slide and recorded a comment and were able to get to copy the link, then you are all set. Now, I will show you one additional thing you can do when you comment. I will show you how to zoom and pan. All right, now this is another thing you can do when you're commenting, and this is a little more advanced. So here's how this works. So let's say I want to, let me go to another voice thread. I'm going to go to this one. All right, now, when I click on the plus sign, I start commenting. Now I have this plus and minus on the right-hand side. I can zoom in, and if I hold down the shift key on my keyboard, I can click and drag to a different spot on the slide. And I can let go and annotate here. Maybe I'll go with a little brighter color, but I can annotate on a close-up view, and I can zoom out. I can zoom in and shift to a different spot. If I hold down shift, I let go of shift, I can annotate. I hold down shift, I can pan. Let go of shift to annotate, hold down shift to pan. All right, now when I stop, I'm going to save this. I'm going to play this comment back. While this comment plays, I want you to notice that everything that I did during the comment is captured as part of the comment. So all of that zooming and panning and doodling is all going to be playing back, kind of like a screencast. Okay. Now I have this plus and minus on the right-hand side. I can zoom in, and if I hold down the shift key on my keyboard, I can click and drag to a different spot on the slide. And I can let go and annotate here. Maybe I'll go with a little brighter color, but I can annotate on a close-up view, and I can zoom out, I can zoom in and shift to a different spot. If I hold down shift, I let go of shift, I can annotate.
I hold down shift, I can,
All right, so you can see how zooming and panning works. All right, so this is something you can try. So this will be our bonus content. Remember the way to do this, you start, it has to be an audio or webcam comment. All right, you record the audio comment. You can zoom in using the plus, you can zoom out using the minus. When you are zoomed in, hold down shift and drag the screen. Let go of shift, you can doodle. Hold down shift and drag the screen. You pan, let go of shift, and click and drag to doodle. All right, so remember, it's shift is how you pan,
record.
letting go of shift is how you doodle.